Please describe your job title and primary duties.
As Fossil, I worked as just a retail associate. And basically what that is I'm pretty much a watch salesman. I get educated on all of the different bags, jewelry, and mostly watches. Not so much the jewelry, but mainly the watches that are there. We learn all of their names, what's special about them, and things like that. And then when people come in, we become a salesman.
What was the work environment like?
The work environment for Fossil was probably one of the best that I've had in terms of dealing with coworkers, because we are all very genuine people, and we all just love to hang out and talk. And it's a social environment too, because a lot of times when you're not busy, you have time to just, kind of talk to each other. So, it's a very friendly environment.
Please describe a typical day as an employee.
I'm a part-time associate, so for me, just kind of come in, whether or not you're opening, make sure everything is set. You kind of get OCD, making sure everything is perfect. But aside that, you're pretty much just waiting for people to come in. When people come in, you find out if they need help with anything. If they do, you help educate them on finding the right watch, finding the right wallet or handbag, and that's pretty much it.
How would you describe the application and interview process?
My first interview with Fossil was probably the longest I've ever had with anyone. But it was definitely enjoyable because our general manager is a very social, dynamic person. So half of the time we were talking about maybe the job, the other half we were just talking about life and our personal experiences and things like that. And she had told me that I should feel special for being hired at Fossil because she makes sure that everyone there is a very genuine in the way they interact with people.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
They probably had the most planned questions. They had a bunch of lists of multiple questions that they were going to ask, and I got asked some of the same questions both times in both interviews. So the type of questions that they asked were basically, how would I respond to certain conflicts maybe, or if someone were to return an item, how would I react to that? And basically what they wanted to hear was that if a customer returned an item, they wanted to know if I had done my job correctly. Because if they didn't like the product, then obviously I led them to the wrong thing. So depending on whether or not I was willing to take responsibility for a customer's return and understand my role as being a retail associate was what they wanted to know.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to get employment?
If you like fashion and clothes and talking to people, it would be a great experience for you. But because Fossil has a lot of high-end products, a lot of stuff there is expensive. So not everyone that comes in is going to be, willing to buy something right off the bat, which means that you, for one, you definitely need to know what you're doing when you talk to them and tell them about the product. Secondly, how well you do, how much you sell, depends on how many hours you get. So obviously when you're new, you may not get that many hours until you warm up. But after the holiday rush, obviously no one's trying to spend any money. So just because of that, you're not going to have that many sales if you work. So because of that, your hours drastically drop after the holidays and dead periods like that. So it's kind of an hours issue there too.